Hey, everybody. Good Monday morning to you. It is The Drive. We are live in the Finley Hyundai Studios, and we love our Mondays. Hear it from Monday, fun day. We are loaded, baby. Devin, Dixon, Paulie Ratliff, Tara Atkin, the crew ready to go for the next 2 straight hours. And boy, oh boy, we're packed, boys and girls. We are absolutely overfull with sports content on a Monday morning.
I like that. I like when we're overflowing with content.
We are absolutely jam-packed, so let's not waste any time. Let's get to the best thing I saw in the sports world from the weekend. This is going to be difficult. You can't limit me to just one on a Monday. You got to give me multiple today, Paulie. We got to get into it.
Yeah, I've got multiple, too.
It's brought to you by Coral Canyon Golf Course. Get your tee times. It's peak golf season. Course is absolutely pure arena right now. CoralCanyonGolf.com, or call out there and get your tee times today. Let's do it.
It's time for
I think I'll start with yesterday's the big dumper. I got to go number one. I got a 1A, 1B, 1C here. But Cal Raleigh's homer in Seattle's incredible 3-1 ALCS win last night was absolutely phenomenal. I was jumping up and down. Me and my son were watching this game together. It was a great day for me and Boston. Got home really late Saturday night, so we got up. Seahawks straight into the NASCAR race and then straight into the Mariners game. It was a great sports day to just lounge around the house. Ended up not going to the race last minute, but Paul, you were at the race yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely made it down.
But man, I mean, why did John Snyder pull Kevin, the Gausman, the pitcher? He was on fire. He had retired 16 straight batters. He decides to go to the bullpen, and Raleigh says, "See ya." The big dumper hitting 62 and helping the Mariners win over Toronto after they'd have to go to that marathon game. They had to use so many different pitchers. Huge road win for Seattle to steal home field away from a red hot, really good, talented Toronto team. This is a huge win for Seattle.
Yeah, it is. I mean, this is anytime. I think every road team in the playoffs just looks for the split. If you can get one on enemy territory, now the Mariners already got the one. They could be looking for 2 here and going home up 2-0. So that prospect is out there, and it shouldn't have been, but because the Jays are a great home team, but they found a way to get it done.
Here it is. Here's the play last night. Yeah.
It's the big dumper when the Mariners need him most.
You don't pull your star pitcher, though. So what? You gave up a home run. Should have left him in. Mariners would add a couple more. Jorge Polanco.
Yeah.
Again.
Value man.
Coming up clutch for the Seattle Mariner team. And I'm enjoying the postseason baseball right now. Got the Brewers and the Dodgers tonight. Got the Mariners in Toronto again this afternoon. So 2 o'clock game.
Okay.
2 o'clock game for Seattle. That's what time that first pitch is, just after 2 o'clock. It's the afternoon game in Toronto. So it should be fun. So big day. You combo the Seattle Mariners and a good road win for the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah.
And it was an unbelievable sports day for Seattle sports fans. We didn't get that unbelievable day last Sunday because Seattle lost at home to Tampa Bay, 38-35. So a little bit makeup a week later with Seattle going to Jacksonville. This is the play that had me jumping out of my seat. This is like late first quarter. Yeah, early second quarter, actually. It's a defensive war in Jacksonville, and Sammy D, who leads the NFL in yards per pass, and it's not even close, by over a yard, over Drake May by over a yard per completion. He is that's a big gap between first and second when you're talking about over a yard in the National Football League.
Yeah.
And this is JSN, who is a superstar. I've been trying to convince everybody this kid is a superstar, and now maybe people will listen to me. Here's the play last night as Jackson Smith and Jigba goes. And Seattle would never, once they take the lead on this play, they would never surrender the lead the rest of the game. Oh,
Is this the right one?
this the clip? I don't know. You're halfway into the clip.
Hang on.
I think it is, yeah.
That's the one that's bookmarked. So,
Yeah.
okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Reactive as
This is the play.
Darnold sets to throw and floating one down the middle. And Smith-Njigba has it. Touchdown Seahawks.
Man, who's that? Chris Myers? Almost put me to sleep with that call.
Yeah, Chris was having a rough day yesterday.
Was he?
Yeah.
It sounded like that was a 61-yard touchdown. It sounded like he just rolled out of bed.
Yeah, Chris is not the A team anymore.
I know.
When it comes to Fox, he's
that's
like
right.
fourth or fifth. I do like Schlereth.
Yeah,
Mark
he's
Schlereth,
good.
this color guy, is
He's
pretty
good.
good. Chris was having headset issues. At one point, he's like, "I'm having trouble hearing my producer in my ear."
Oh, I've had that.
Live on the air.
I still remember the game
Yeah.
whenever I couldn't hear my color guy
Yeah.
that we were doing.
Well, he's talking about he couldn't hear his producer.
Oh, that's just as bad, if not worse.
And their audio was cutting in and out a little bit. It was,
Yeah.
I think he was a little frustrated in the second quarter yesterday. So that was about the same time as that was all going down.
Okay.
So maybe give Chris a little
I'll give
bit
him
of
a break
Yeah,
on a
we've all
Monday.
had technical difficulties before.
That's right.
Yeah, but that wasn't a lot of excitement in that call, was there?
No. For a 61-yard bomb like that, that was not a great call.
Yeah.
But, maybe he'll have better ones in the coming weeks.
Yeah. So best thing I saw, Cal Raleigh, Seattle Mariners winning, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Sammy D, and Seattle Seahawks winning, now 4-2 on the season. I could have went with Patrick Mahomes as the Chiefs looked good last night. I could have went with Baker Mayfield, the MVP. I think has got his name on it if he keeps doing what he's doing. I could have went with Drake May, Tara's guy.
Yes. He
And-
put up 30 points for me this week.
Yeah.
She was in early on him, by the way.
Yeah.
Real early.
And how about Rico Dowdle?
Yeah, and his return against the Cowboys, he goes nuclear. Crazy.
Yeah.
What did he end with? 250 total yards, I think.
Yeah,
Receiving and rushing.
Yep. In the last 2 weeks, he's run for 389 yards,
Whoa.
both wins. The Panthers, the Carolina Panthers, are all of a sudden 3-3.
Yes.
And they play the grease-fired Jets next.
Yeah, they're looking all right in that NFC South, which is always dicey. I know that the Bucs kind of going to be that team that's on top at 5-1, but everyone else, the Falcons, the Saints are terrible, and the Panthers in that division, I mean, they could rise up, the Panthers, and maybe be a wild card team. A lot of people wrote off Bryce Young, including me, after his first couple years in the
You were
NFL.
already starting to label him a bust
Yeah.
about 2 weeks ago.
I mean, I've never really been high on guys that get worse throughout their time, and it seemed like in year 2, Bryce was worse than year 1, but now he's finally taking that next step, and he might be rekindling his career doing this.
You gotta have the roster built around you.
I get it.
And Carolina had to start from scratch, basically. I mean, post Cam Newton and post Greg Olson and post Luke Kuechly, they had to scrap that thing and break it down to the brick and mortar and rebuild it from the ground up.
And Jerry Richardson, all that scandal that happened there, and he lost the team. They sold it, new ownership.
Yeah,
and
the
all
new
that
ownership
stuff.
has not won.
No.
But they
Who is
finally.
that? Is that David Tepper? Yeah, he was the one who threw the drink on the fan at a game. So, yeah, I mean, the Panthers, I don't think anyone expected that Cowboys game. I think it was a 3-4 point spread, but everyone was kind of favoring Dallas. I mean, if I was making a survivor pick, I would have picked the Cowboys like the third or fourth team this week. They were one of the matchups I thought were going to be lopsided and they were going to take out Carolina, but that's the NFL. That's the NFL.
Yep. All right, let's get to you got something?
Yeah, I got something. I'm going to do a 1A and B like you today. First, we'll start down in Las Vegas for the South Point 400, which I was at yesterday. And I'm a Joe Gibbs racing guy. Obviously, Joe Gibbs coached my beloved Redskins, won 3 Super Bowls. He's obviously been in NASCAR forever. And his best driver this year is Mr. Denny Hamlin. And he is headed to the Championship 4. He wins his 60th career race. And we've got the final call for you on USA Network.
Presented by Credit One Bank. 1 lap to go to determine Denny Hamlin going to the Championship 4. What a gritty performance. Coming back from those early race challenges. The 44-year-old veteran who is still searching for that elusive championship. Well, he's going to get win number 60. He's won in Vegas before, but maybe this is the most important win. Denny Hamlin is going to Phoenix.
That's right. Denny Hamlin's going to Phoenix and the 60th win. And like the announcer was saying there, the championship has eluded Denny. My granddad's a big Hamlin fan. He's always rooted for him, even when he was driving the FedEx car way back when.
Yeah.
And he has not gotten that championship, but this might be the year. And Denny was contemplating retirement a couple years ago, was thinking about calling it quits in NASCAR. And now he's at the top. He probably is the preeminent favorite to win the championship. So,
because you look at the two next courses
he's got
coming
a
up, very
point differential between him and the next person.
Very unpredictable Talladega. This next race, anything can happen there.
That's right. And they were talking to him post race, and we were kind of listening to the commentary in the car on the way home, and they were like, sometimes when media members ask like just stupid questions, I kind of roll my eyes. And she said the track reporter was like, Denny, what do you plan to do at Talladega? And he's like, I'm trying to win. Obviously, he kind of just put it that way. He was kind of frank with this reporter, and I was like, "That is a bad question, though."
Yeah.
I mean, you're always trying to win. Yeah. Like, you should have asked a little more detail. You don't get in a race car
to finish last.
That's right. So,
hasn't she seen Talladega Nights?
She might have.
Last.
Exactly.
Come on.
And my other best thing, I texted you guys about this when it broke. I was following this story all weekend long, but James Franklin, has been relieved of his duties as head coach of the Penn State Nittany Lions. Came as a shock to many, but it's weird out here. I mean, the Penn State thing is not as big of a cultural football thing as it is out east. But Penn State has a giant alumni base, and they live in Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, all the way up the coast. So anywhere you go, you see a Nittany Lions logo anywhere. And their fans are fervent, and they've wanted this for a while. I just didn't think $56 million would be. I thought that'd be the sticking point for Penn State.
I thought his buyout was $45 million.
I thought 49 actually is what I saw, but
I've seen 56.
I've seen 45 million, second biggest in college football history. It's still massive.
Yeah.
I mean, 104 wins, 45 losses in nearly 12 seasons, and a wild, huge buyout.
Yeah, huge buyout.
You're waking up this morning. Wait a minute. Jimmy Franklin gets paid $45+ million not to coach?
Correct.
He sure does.
He does.
He sure does. He signed a 10-year contract
Yeah.
extension back in 2021.
Oof. Wow.
And Penn State knew that cost before they made it official the other day.
Yeah, and they know what they're taking on here. And the question for them is, with this huge alumni network fan base, probably one of the top NIL donor collectives in the country, is who is going to be better that they can get? Is it Cignetti? Do they make a shot at pulling Saban out of retirement? I mean, that doesn't feel like a fit to me in State College for Saban. Like, what coach will they attract to take that job? I mean, it's one of the best jobs in the country, bar none. Even post Sandusky scandal and everything, it is still a top job in college football. So I'm wondering who they go with, who they look to lead the program, because I think the thing with Franklin, there was a lot of people wondering why. They were just in the national semifinals a year ago, but his record against top 5 teams, he is the ultimate tease. 1-18 against top 5 teams in his career. And if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. And that's something that Jimmy Franklin could not do. So he's been relieved of his duties after the 3rd straight loss.
How does this happen? The college coaching industry has changed so much the last couple of years.
Yeah.
I would be paranoid. I would be paranoid to be a college football coach right now.
Yeah.
Because you're thinking, well, I want to get in on this money. $45+ million not to coach, that's lucrative. Yes, that is lucrative. That's the second largest ever. That doesn't happen every single day.
Yeah, it's only behind Jimbo Fisher.
Look,
the buyout.
There could be $200 million in buyouts this year alone in college football.
Yeah.
Everybody wants stability. Everybody wants a coach that can go out and get in the portal and get winners instantly. Everybody wants blah, 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 blah. And look, if you're willing to sacrifice years working your way up through the ranks, maybe you want to be a coach, grinding, hours wise. I can't think of a profession that demands more hours than being a college football coach.
It's a 24-hour job. I mean, it is. Recruiting.
You don't stop.
Yeah. I mean, but man, for Franklin, I don't know where he picks up the pieces at this point because his big deficiency, I think, at Penn State was the quarterback position. Drew Aller was thought to be this top pick, first-round pick. He's out for the season now. But some of Franklin's quarterbacks, and they go like this: Drew Aller, Sean Clifford, who was okay, pretty good quarterback, kind of middle in the NFL for a couple years. Tommy Stevens, who was bad. My Pee Wee teammate, probably the best quarterback that's played at Penn State ever, Trace McSorley, and Christian Hackenberg. Those are the quarterbacks that Jimmy Franklin has produced. No active NFL players, no really stars. I mean, McSorley was on some practice squads. He middled in the league for a little bit, but Franklin could not recruit a quarterback to save his life. And that has been an issue for him. And I think that Aller's pick against Oregon is another just kind of indication that, it's just not the guy. He's not the guy. Franklin's not the guy for Penn State, and they got to move on. So that's the best thing I saw because I am not a Penn State fan, never have been. Pitt, Penn State, Virginia Tech, all West Virginia rivals. So I kind of take joy in Penn State suffering a little bit because they've been good for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, it's not like he just got the Penn State job on Indeed. Like he had to put in sweat equity.
He was at Vandy.
He had to put his time and grind and find that job. And to be at a school 12 years is nothing to laugh about. But you can't lose the way that they've lost this year in the last 2 weeks in a row specifically. You can't lose to UCLA and to Northwestern.
It's clear you've lost the locker room if you're losing to Northwestern at home and you're losing to a defeated team in UCLA before you played them. They had no wins. They were goose.
I mean, look, Penn State, as far as that whiteout and that money situation, the stability in the university. There should be a very rich candidate pool of coaches that would want this job.
They're going to draw some big names, but will they be more successful?
They're in the middle of a $700 million renovation of their
Beaver
stadium.
Yep.
So, look, Matt Rule at Nebraska is probably the leading candidate right now.
That's not a Penn State hire, though. That's not sexy enough. It
he
really
played
is not sexy enough.
linebacker at Penn State in the
I get
90s.
it.
He's always loved his alma mater. He
get
worked
it. And
under
he did good at Baylor.
Temple.
He did good at Baylor, but what has he done at Nebraska? Have they even been ranked one time under his tutelage? I don't think
he's
so.
5-1 in his third season this year. They're up to a 5-1 start. This seems to be turning the corner. You have to remember when you take these jobs, you've got to have a couple years to bring in a couple classes of recruits. And now he's in his third year. And that's where you're supposed to start seeing, okay, I got these guys in here, and now it's starting to see the benefits.
A good coach. I think he's a good coach. I just don't think he's a big enough name for the Penn State fan base. I don't think they're going to win the hire with that. You're not going to win the press conference with a Matt Rule hire.
Yeah. Okay. Kurt Cignetti moved the needle more.
Yes.
He's a Pittsburgh native.
He's a winner.
He's turned a basketball school into a football school. They just beat Oregon over the weekend.
Correct.
I mean, his stock is as high as it ever is.
That'd be the hottest name in the coaching ranks that Penn State could pull. And like I said, they can't get Kirby like a top names, but I think that they could get a Cignetti out of Indiana. They could pull that off. Maybe a Dan Lanning. I know he's said over and over he's happy at Oregon, but Penn State, that's another thing. I mean, it's another ball game. That's a blue blood royalty type program in college football.
The Saban rumors are out there.
Yeah.
If he would be interested, Penn State would have an interest. That doesn't seem like an ideal fit for him.
I don't see it. I think he's happy with the game day stuff.
Yeah.
So, Iowa State head coach Matt Campbell has been floated around.
Again, are you going to win the press conference with Matt Campbell? I don't think so.
I mean, he turned the Cyclones from a bottom feeder into a consistent winner.
To a middling team. They never.
They were 11-3 last year.
They don't ever win the Big 12 though. They're kind of like Jimmy Franklin.
They've been to two Big 12 championship appearances under Matt Campbell.
They have.
But you're right. But he's a Pittsburgh native.
Oh, okay. A little local tie.
They've lost 2 in a row this year. They were off to a 5-0 start. They've been decimated by injuries, especially on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
What about Ole Miss Lane Kiffin? What about LSU Brian Kelly?
Kiffin.
I would like Kiffin. That'd be I don't know if Penn State would do that because of his past and the kind of how volatile he's been leaving places, but I think if you got him at Penn State, that's kind of the career job for him where he ends his career. I don't think he would move much more from Penn State, but I think Lane Kiffin, one of the best young coaches in the country.
Missouri head coach Eli Drinkwitz.
Yeah, he's hot right
He's
now.
turned Mizzou into a contender and a loaded SEC.
With the Penn State resources, you wonder what some of these guys can do. Like, he's at Mizzou right now. They're probably not pumping a ton of NIL to the level that Penn State has, or Oregon, or Georgia, or some of these other programs. So
but they're 5-1, and they barely lost to Bama over the weekend.
They
played them tough.
They haven't beaten them since 1975. I was rooting for those Mizzou Tigers.
Yeah. The SMU coach, Rhett Lashley.
Yeah.
Tulane's head coach, John Sumrall.
Yeah, he was a name last year, and he went back to Tulane. Again, those names just not big enough for Penn State, I think.
You know, Kansas, Syracuse, Minnesota, Duke's coaching staff.
Lance Leipold
Mike
from
Elko
Kansas.
is the other one that people have thrown around from Texas A&M.
Okay. I can see that
He's a
working out.
Jersey native who played at Penn. Their ties to the area. Now, A&M has plenty of money to throw at anything he wants.
Yeah. They could match anything Penn State would put forward. So,
yeah, I mean, maybe Texas A&M would match anything Penn State could try here.
I think you got to swing.
It would be a surprise if they wouldn't put a feeler out at least.
I think you got to swing for a bigger name. I think if you're Penn
Elko's
State,
a pretty big name.
He's a pretty big name, but I would go for a Signetti, a Lincoln Riley. If you could lure him away, I don't think he would go to Penn State. I think he's happy out there. But I
don't think Matt Rule's a big enough name.
Nah. I mean, I just don't think it's very sexy.
It's a bigger name than James Franklin was when he took the Penn State job, if you ask me.
It is.
Because of his time in the NFL with Carolina. He's been a head coach in the league. I think that carries a little bit of – I understand that.
But he was good at Baylor. Like, his biggest feather in his cap is that his time at Baylor. He resurrected the Baylor program from after Art Briles and that whole scandal that happened. So I think that Rule is a good coach, but if you're a Penn State fan, would you be excited with the Matt Rule hire? I would probably lean probably not.
Do they want an offensive-minded coach, though?
Yeah.
Like, Penn State's been good, producing stars defensively, good running backs, Micah Parsons.
Tight ends, Warren,
Tyler
Freiermuth.
Warren.
Yeah.
But, man, would a guy like Lane Kiffin make sense because he could maybe go light that offense up a little bit? Now,
when's the last Penn State drafted wide receiver or quarterback? I mean, it's Jahan Dotson was taken in the draft we went to in the first round. The receiver from Penn State, the Commanders took him. But how many skill players other than tight ends, running backs, like you say?
Not
no
many.
Quarterbacks, no receivers from Penn State normally.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not been Franklin's recruiting.
Yeah, Trace McSorley was drafted late, day 3.
Yeah.
But he was drafted.
He
But that's
was
the last NFL quarterback drafted, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's like 5'11", though. So he was never going to have a long NFL career. But he did better with what he had than many expected. But yeah Franklin really – Hackenberg was like his big prospect, like the prototypical 6'5" rocket arm, but he flamed out. So, like, he just hasn't. I go back to my original point. He doesn't recruit the quarterback position.
It'll be interesting. It'll be really interesting. All right, Tara, best thing?
I got to go with a couple. My Tennessee Vols won again.
Yeah.
I know there's some Vols fans in town.
There are.
Yeah. And then my Kraken, the Seattle Kraken, 2-0. Beat the Knights.
Yeah, the OT
in
winner.
Overtime. And
They did. I didn't get to watch that game, but I did see, was it 2-1?
2-1,
Yep,
overtime.
2-1.
Yeah. Not a great start to the year for the Knights.
Yeah. I think we're going to get into that in Big Deal a little bit.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, let's do that. Let's take a break. We're off and running. Glad to have you in the Findlay Hyundai Studios on a Monday. We love our Mondays. Let's get after it. Big deal, no big deal. We only do this on Mondays. We do it when we come back, so don't touch that dial. Hey, we're jamming on a Monday. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Show today brought to you by our friends at Prime IV. If you had a long weekend, you need a boost, maybe fighting off a little something. Maybe you're training for Huntsman Senior Games, or maybe you're going to go run a marathon or something of that nature. Maybe you're doing a marathon a month like Paulie.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Prime IV has you covered everything for athletes to get you ready to train and get out and perform, and then everything to recover after. And see why so many athletes choose PrimeIVSTG.com or stop on by the Riverside location. I know me and my family have definitely seen the benefits firsthand of Prime IV and their super powerful drips. Let's get into it. We only do it on a Monday, so let's not waste any more time. All right,
Hey.
let's go, Tara.
Big deal, no big deal. Utah Tech started fast, gets the opening score, but ultimately number 3 Tarleton too much. They win 41-23 at Greater Zion Stadium. Utah Tech now sits at 1-5 overall and 0-2 in the UAC.
You know, this is a barometer game. You're playing the best team in the conference, the preseason favorites. You get them at home.
One of the best teams in the country.
Yep. You'd like to think that you could pull the upset off. That's just a tall order. I know they didn't play Gavalis. I know they played some other quarterbacks.
Yeah, Daniel Greek was the guy's name, and he'd been kind of switching in and out with Gavalis with the injury concerns. So this wasn't his first action.
Right.
He had played previously, and he played really well. So,
it's kind of feels fast-tracked at times, and then you look at the win-loss record. As the great Bill Parcells said, your record is really a true indicator of what you are. You are what your record is. I don't care. I've always believed that Bill was spot on with that. You're a 1-5 team. But it feels like they're better this year. They're more competitive this year. I feel like they're making strides in the right direction. I know the wins aren't stacking up like Lance Anderson and the players and the administration would like.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a lot more formidable team to where there's a little bit more excitement and they're fighting their tails off. But at the end of the day, a loss is a loss. And so you got to go big deal because now you're 1-5.
Yeah.
And you're exposed to lose. You're 26-point underdogs to Tarleton State.
yeah, that's right. But where I go back, yes, you're 1-5, you're 0-2 in the UAC. But last year, if we just take a look at last year, Montana State, the season opener, 31-7. UNLV, 72-14. Northern Arizona, 45-17. UC Davis, 32-14. Abilene Christian, 55-30. Like, there was so many blowouts last year.
Yeah.
And it wasn't close, but this is another cover, and that doesn't matter for the team, of course, but that means they're staying close in games. This was a 28-point spread. Trailblazers lose by 18. So
Did it go to 28 at kickoff?
it was 28.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I saw 26.5, but that was that morning.
It bumped up right before kickoff to 28.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was a full 4-touchdown spread, and the Trailblazers did cover once again. And like I was saying, those scores last year, they are not what this team is doing this year. I mean, every game has been tight. Every game has been close. It's been 31-24 UC Davis, 38-31 Northern Arizona. Idaho, one game where they were kind of out of it, 20-6. They win against Northern Iowa, 20-9. They get blown out by Austin P on the road, I understand. But then Central Arkansas, another 6-point game. So I would say, yes, it's frustrating for Coach Anderson and the staff and the players to get close and not finish, but this is a way better football team than a year ago, even though the win-loss record is very similar at this stage of the season.
Yeah. I would agree with that assessment. You got to salvage the rivalry game.
Yeah.
I mean, the SU game seems big to me now.
It's looming
Right.
large.
Yeah.
Both teams relatively, I think they're going to be competitive. This will be a competitive game. I mean, Bronson Barron's status after the bye, I think he'd be good to go most likely, or we don't know. But if it's going to be Burns, the running quarterback, the more option RPO guy, I think that's advantageous for Utah Tech.
Too early to tell who the quarterback is.
I know,
the
but
bye week this week,
sure,
so that should
time.
help.
Yeah, they got time, but I think
we'll know more by the time we see what happens this Saturday.
It's a totally different offense for SUU. With Barron, they're downfield, they're driving the ball, they're trying to throw and light it up, and then they got Dye to run, so it kind of creates that balance. Whereas Burns is more of just a run first guy. I don't know that he throws a ton, so I think Utah Tech, it would be better if Burns started because Barron is one of the best quarterbacks in the UAC.
Yeah,
so
yeah, we got a lot of time to start breaking that game down.
That's right.
Blazers going to bye. SUU will be back in action this weekend, and that game, of course, coming up in a couple weeks.
Yeah,
can't wait.
All right, big deal, no big deal. Big noon kickoff is headed to Provo for the Holy War, featuring a ranked matchup at Lavelle Edwards Stadium between these two bitter rivals, BYU.
Yeah, we just kind of, rivalry week this week with Utah BYU. Bear Bachmeier has done his job and then some.
Yeah.
Utah comes in on a ranked win against ASU, kind of smothered them up there and, wet and overcast. I wasn't sure if they were going to get that game in the way it was pacing. It was an 8:15 kickoff, that lightning storm, that electrical storm that went through Salt Lake County.
Yeah.
They ended up postponing that or canceling that Post Malone concert that was the
Red West Fest.
Thing.
They did a terrible downpour.
Yeah, it was 3-hour delay. They were trying to wait it out. They finally ended up calling it.
They had all these people just ushered inside in this building, just waiting out the storm.
Yeah,
that just seemed tough. But Utah 42-10 over Arizona State with Jeff Sims as the quarterback, who has played. I think this is his 7th year of college football. Started at Georgia Tech, now on Arizona State. I think 2 other teams along the way as well. But he was a little perplexed by the Utah defense. 42-10, they were swarming. And then, I watched the BYU game too. That was a 2 OT thriller. Arizona had a chance at the end. Fafita just couldn't connect with his receiver. And BYU escapes, and it sets up, like Tara said, a ranked matchup in the Holy War. When was the last time we had a ranked Holy War matchup where both teams were ranked? I feel like it's been some time.
Terry can check on that. I'm not sure the year, but BYU is 6-0. They're 3-0 in the Big 12. They climbed up 3 spots to number 15 in the latest Associated Press rankings. Cougars moved up 4 spots. They're actually one better in the coaches poll. They're 14th. Utah 5-1. They climbed back into the rankings. They were just outside both major polls last week. So the Utes jump up to 23 in the AP poll, and they're 22 in the coaches poll.
I'm seeing
last time 18. Yeah, 2018.
Oh, really?
Is that? Yeah.
What I've seen
says the last time BYU versus Utah Holy War was November 24th, 2018. Do you have more recent?
2009 was the last time Utah and BYU were both ranked. BYU 18, Utah 22.
Says Utah was number 20, BYU was number 21 on November 24th, 2018.
Okay, so maybe there was one before then. Grok leading me astray.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, 2018, it's still been 7 years, so it's been a while.
Been a while.
Yeah.
There's 4 Big 12 teams in the national top 25, including BYU and Utah. You got Texas Tech and Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Iowa State, which lost to Colorado, Arizona State,
loss.
they both fell out of the rankings. Yeah. No additional Big 12 teams are in the receiving votes poll. Houston, TCU, Arizona State, Iowa State,
Arizona, they're all bad this year. It's a very top-heavy league in the Big 12. I thought Phil Steele said there was 8 teams that could win it, and when we talked to him during the summer, and that I kind of prescribed to that theory, but really I think there's only 2 teams that can win the Big 12 right now, maybe 3, realistically. And he said there was 7 or 8 at the beginning of the year. And now this whittling down process, we're seeing the cream rise to the top. So it's Tech, it's BYU, and it's Utah. Those are the top 3 teams in my mind in the Big 12.
Yeah. By the way,
Cincinnati is okay, and I think they'll be fine. But those 3, I think, are going to contend for the championship.
The big loss there, Oregon losing 30-20 at home to Indiana. The top 5 AP is now Ohio State at 1, Miami is 2, Indiana is at 3 after moving up 4 spots. A&M is at 4, and Ole Miss is at 5. That is your new AP top 5. Oregon dropped down to 8, by the way.
Yeah.
after losing to Indiana in that star-studded matchup. That was one of our Zag picks of the week. It'd be interesting to see how many people missed that one and took the
Got that
Ducks
one
at home.
wrong.
I would have took I took the Ducks
I
at
think
home.
everybody was on the Ducks,
The Ducks.
most likely. Yeah, especially out west. Not many Indiana fans out here know much of Indiana football, but Fernando Mendoza, man, that guy can play.
Yeah.
He can play.
Look, as far as the question goes, big noon kickoff headed back to Provo.
It's a huge deal.
Fox's popular college football pregame show. This is going to be exciting. They're going to be showing out in full force. And they were there when
Last
BYU
year.
played Arizona last year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, kickoff came to Salt Lake for that Texas Tech game. So they're coming back out to the great state of Utah.
They've been frequenting Utah this
They
year.
have.
The Beehive State been one of the stops on the big noon kickoff bus multiple times.
Yep. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be a frenzy in Provo. I mean, it's already a rivalry game. Utah BYU, but now they crank it up another notch or two. By the way, we're teaming up with a New View Auto Glass, and we're going to be giving away some those tickets to go to the game from everybody that got their windshield replaced at a New View Auto Glass. We're giving those away. I think we're going to do it tomorrow on the show.
Awesome.
I think Stanton's going to come by. We're going to do the drawing live on the air,
Nice.
so
Like
that'll be
that.
fun. Yeah.
Okay, big deal, no big deal. The Mariners just keep winning behind the 62nd homer for Cal Raleigh. They surge past the hot Blue Jays in the later innings and win 3-1.
Look,
This is a good game.
this is so fun for me.
He's just smiling ear
This
to
is
ear.
so
As
fun
you're
for
reading
me.
that question,
I
I know
know,
you're reading
right?
it, and I just see him cracking this
The
smile.
smile.
Because there's been so many years where I would get like the MLB extra innings,
Yeah.
and by July 4th,
You're out.
I'm checked out of Mariners baseball, and we're out of the pennant race, and we're last in the division.
My
And-
scenario this year.
And
Yeah.
so for years and years and years, I've always loved my Mariners.
Yeah.
And been to games. I the first year Safeco Field, originally called Safeco Field, opened was, I think it was 2000, 2001. They hosted the All-Star game right after it opened. It was the first baseball. And I went to that All-Star game in 2001. And I've loved that stadium ever since.
Yeah.
And, been there a handful of times over the years. Looking like maybe a Seahawks Monday night game and a weekend home game next weekend. I mean, obviously, game 2 in Toronto. They're going to be midweek at home this week. But if the series goes long enough, that game 6 could be where you could get a Seahawks Mariners game this weekend, which would be pretty cool for anybody that wanted to pay a pretty penny to go to both of those games.
Yeah.
Seahawks Monday night against the Texans next week.
Ooh, okay.
Of course, we'll be at Wingnuts tonight for a doubleheader.
Yeah,
Monday Night
double
Football.
Double header tonight. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah.
be there.
But look, it's a big deal for Seattle fans. I mean, you go back to, my roots, growing up on a farm in Eastern Washington, listening to Rick Riz and Dave Niehaus, and I've always loved the Mariners. And it's one of those things where it's really fun to see what management and Jerry DiPoto and Dan Wilson, that rocking that stash that Tara loves so much, better mustache, Benson Boone or
Yes.
Dan Wilson, Tara?
She's the expert.
Wilson
Danny.
for sure.
Danny. Yeah.
I'm not really into girly boys though. Wilson's a manly man. He's got a mustache.
Yeah, man's man.
Lumberjack.
He's an athlete.
He's got his flannel on, chopping wood out there.
Yeah, right.
No, big deal. Mariners are a big deal. I think there's a lot of people. I have friends of mine that know that I'm a Mariners fan. They're just like, hey, man, your team's fun to watch. Right? I think people are enjoying this Mariner narrative,
Yeah.
and storyline.
It's fresh. It's not the Dodgers. It's not the Yankees. It's somebody new. And
Right.
I was even okay. I mean, I wanted the Mariners to win, but if they weren't playing them, I wanted the Tigers to go as far as possible too, just because Detroit hasn't tasted success in a while.
Yeah.
Like these big markets, they're buying players. They're spending a ton of money. I mean, I know that other teams' payrolls are high, but when you're the Yankees, Dodgers, and you're deferring Shohei's almost entire contract to bring on more players, I mean, I'm not about that. So even though they're my pick to win, I'm rooting fervently for the Mariners to advance and take down whoever's going to be on the other side.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're about mid-pack in payroll.
Yeah.
Mariners
Mid-pack, that's
15th,
fine.
15th
Yeah.
in the MLB.
That's beautiful.
And, $161 million. That puts them right in the middle of the league as far as how much they've spending. Now,
They're
this is
not
more
free
than they
agents.
used to spend.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but they're not big free agent spenders. They're more of a draft develop and grow your guys through your system type team. You know, most of the stars on the Mariners are homegrown, other than Eugenio and Naylor. You know,
What's
the trade
crazy
guys.
is the Mariners are 15th in the league, and the Brewers are even down there lower.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're 2 of the 4 teams left.
Yeah.
I like the Brewers too.
Yeah.
If it's not the M's, it's the Brewers for me. But yeah. But how can you not get behind Big Dumper and his story and everything that he's put together this season?
Yeah. It's been a magical run,
Yeah.
to be honest with you. I mean, the way they were playing before they made the trades, and I think that was the big spark plug to this season.
Naylor and
Suarez,
Gino.
yeah. I mean, without those two, where would they be? I mean,
Naylor's been so good.
that's aggression by the front office, realizing that the championship window is swinging open.
They got the pitching. They just needed a couple more
they
bats
needed
in the
some
lineup.
bats, and they got them. And Julio had that cold start to the season. He's starting to heat up. So I think that they've got all the things hitting on all cylinders right
and
now.
they've got a pretty good deep bench too.
Yeah.
They can pinch hit. They can go righty lefty matchups. This is a well constructed roster.
Even
So-
the guys down the order, Canzoni, I like him. He's a good little hitter. I mean, they got some
Rivas,
Victor Robles, who was a former national on our World Series team.
he's good.
He's good in the field. He's
Yeah.
a really good. He's a Gold Glove quality outfielder.
100%. 100%.
And that catch the other night by Randy Rosarena,
Last night.
we were watching on the way home from the race, and we were watching on the phone, and
They don't make that. Defensively, Seattle is as strong as anybody.
yeah, they got a lot of speed in the outfield. They don't commit many errors. Like, I just feel like this might be the makings of something special
If there's
here.
a weak spot, it might be J.P. Crawford at shortstop. So every once in a while, he'll make a mistake, but I don't think his errors are anything to be alarmed by.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a veteran. He's the longest tenured Mariner. I think he's been there 10 years.
Yeah.
They've totally, built for this team from the ground up and been very, very. It's been rewarding this year to see. I mean, 1-0 going to game 2 today. More on that later in the show. We'll talk about that. Let's keep moving. We got a couple more to
Okay,
get to.
one more. Big deal, no big deal. The Knights and the Mammoth are off to a bit of a sluggish start with a 1-0-2 record for the Knights and a 1-1-0 record for the Mammoth. And that includes an overtime loss to the Kings and Kraken for the Knights. I mean, they're taking it to overtime, but they're still
They're
losing.
getting points.
No
They're getting
big
1
deal.
point.
No-
Yeah,
no-
it's
no
it's
big
real
deal.
early. I understand it's early, but still, I think there are some concerning signs for the Knights. They've given up a lot of goals early on in this season. 6 to the Kings. I mean, Hill needs to be better. I think that's the only thing with the Knights. With the Mammoth, I think they got to score more. I mean, Gunther's been hot, but other than that, where's the rest of the scoring been? I
Yeah.
mean, it just hasn't been there for the Mammoth.
Cooley, I believe, scored.
He scored the other night,
Yeah.
but they lost 2-1 to the Avalanche, and that was a Gunther goal.
Yeah.
But then they they win 3-2 over the Predators, which is one of the lesser teams in the league. So would like to see them pick it up on offense. It's more puck movement, more guys shooting, more traffic around the net, just all the things to score greasy goals, because you're not going to get your high skill guys like Paterka and Cooley and Gunther to get a bunch of greasy goals. You need the third and fourth lines to contribute and get some more of those goals.
Look, on the road, they gave up 2 goals in overtime, and he scored 1 with 3.8 seconds left in overtime. So I'm not going to buy this Knights stuff. Stop it right now. It's 3 games into the season. They've already got 4 points. Technically, they're tied with the Kraken atop the standings.
Getting upset.
And you guys are panicking. No. They play an 82-game season.
That's right.
It's very early.
Now we might have to make a trade for another defenseman. We need to. I do not disagree with you. If there is a kryptonite to this Knights team, it's defensively no Pietrangelo this year.
Yeah.
That is a huge loss, and you can't just go replace him. But I don't know that they might need one more really good defenseman before the deadline if they can get it and make it work, financially. Other than that, this team is going to be fine.
Jack took a below market value deal to bring more talent to Vegas. I read quite a bit on that on Sportsnet.
It was a team-friendly deal.
It was
a good deal for him, but it was still team-friendly.
He got the term. He got the 8 years, and that's what he wanted. But I think he took a little less AAV, annual average value, in the deal to
so
help
that they
the
could
Knights.
still make sure they can pay some other guys.
That's right. He did it. He's a team first guy.
Yeah, remember, this is the NHL, not the MLB. There is a salary cap.
And he said the reason
Knights have been the best at manipulating it. They've been finding ways to stay.
LTIR and stuff like that. But anyways, Eichel mentioned that the reason that he signed that long of a deal in Vegas too is because they stuck with him after the artificial. What was that thing that was inserted?
It was a
Neck, yeah.
disc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Buffalo was not supportive of him doing the surgery. And then he went to Vegas, did it, and they were happy with him and kept him and supported him along the way. And he was very gracious of that. He mentioned that in the interview I saw on TNT.
Yeah. Good stuff. All right, big deal, no big deal. In the books, got to get to a timeout. Come back, wrap up hour one. We're cruising on a Monday. It's The Drive on the Fan Sports Network, your hometown sports source. Yeah. What's up, everybody? Hey, it's 7:52. Just cruising through on a Monday morning. Still technically fall break. Columbus Day today.
Yeah.
Columbus Day today. So Some people get the holiday.
Yeah.
I think teachers have to go back today, but I think the students still out, I think, for fall break. And then some of our Washington County, Iron County, I think they're back in school tomorrow. And then we're back to our normal routine. We've got, playoff soccer. We had the state golf tournament last week. It was a busy sports weekend around Southern Utah. With the senior games in town, Utah Tech at home. Yeah. I saw a Utah Tech soccer team lost yesterday, but the men's soccer team won. So Johnny Broadhead, Coach Broadhead, and the men's team taking down the best team in the conference. So there's some good things happening out there. And we get back to our final week of high school football this week, Paulie.
Yes, that's right.
Big one brewing between Pineview and Crimson. And Crimson, of course, undefeated in region play. They could run the table. Panthers 3-1 with a win could get a share of the region title, but they'd have the head-to-head, so that would feel good for Coach Boyer and the Pineview Panthers. It's going to be senior festivities at Crimson Cliffs this Friday night, and we'll be there. I think we've got one crew for sure, Crimson Pineview. Yeah. And then I think we've got some people out of town. We're not sure on that secondary game, which would be Desert Hills and Hurricane. We'll do it if we have enough manpower to do it. If not, we'll just focus on the one game for the region title.
Yeah. I think we'll have enough.
We'll let you know later in the week. So, good stuff there. By the way, second place is what it ended up being for the Crimson Cliffs Mustang golf team.
Okay.
But Dylan Winona is your champ. He wins.
Really?
He wins the tournament. He was your
him.
medalist. He's your 4A state champ.
Wow.
But team 2 shots behind Ridgeline just couldn't quite get the team title there. Good showing for Region 9 with Pineview and Dixie and Desert Hills and Crimson all top 8 teams in the state in golf. We've got some good golfers down here in our neck of the woods.
That's right.
Yep. Good stuff. Don't have much time before we got to get to a break. Hour 2, we're loaded, though. Patrick Manning from Black Desert's going to be by. That's going to be awesome. We've got the countdown to the PGA tournament coming here to St. George. Black Desert, October 23rd through the 26th is the dates there. So we're a couple weeks away from the PGA Tour being back here in sunny Southern Utah. Can't wait. We'll be out covering that one. And Matt McCarty looking to defend his title. So lots coming up in the second hour. Let's get to another time out here inside the Finley Hyundai Studios. Devin, Paul, Tara, quick break. Back. Loaded second hour on a Monday. Don't go anywhere. Hey, we're back, everybody. Hour 2. Thanks for hanging through the break with us. Cleared a lot of talk time. We got a ton to get into here. Second hour from the Finley Hyundai Studios. Go see the Palisades. They have dropped the 2026 Palisades. The Palisade now comes in a hybrid. It's got a sleek new exterior body design, all the tech you could ever want inside, 7-passenger seating for the whole family. Go take a test drive off exit 13 at Finley Hyundai. And let's go. College football was front and center over the weekend.
Yeah.
Later on, I'm going to go dashing through the games in the NFL. We'll do some studs and duds, but I want to talk some college football for a minute. Paul, you had eyes on Utah Tech. Where is there silver lining at all after losing to a really good football team in Tarleton State for the Trailblazers, dropping them to 1-5 on the season?
Yes, I think there are some things you can take away from this game if you're Lance Anderson. I think there's things that are... Silver linings is a perfect word for him. I think that the passing game, again, over 200 yards in the passing department, that wasn't something that was happening earlier in the season. Bronson Barron, 18 to 35, or Barbin, I should say, 18 to 35, 174 yards and 1 touchdown. Reggie added 46 on 4 of 5 passing for a total of 220 and a touchdown, no interceptions. So clean sheet from the quarterbacks as far as turnovers go. The Trailblazers won the turnover battle as well, and unable to come up on the winning side of the game. But they started off with that interception, and then they cashed in early as Reggie Graff found his way. We got this first Trailblazer touchdown as Reggie strolled in to make it 7-0.
By Reggie wanted to throw, nobody to throw to. Reggie Graff into the end zone. 5-yard touchdown. Trailblazers take the quick 6-0 lead.
And the pick was big. I mean, it was the first play of the game. You thought maybe, okay, so Gabalis out, Greek in. He throws kind of a bad pass over the middle, gets tipped high up into the air. Trailblazers come down with the pick. And then they're on the 35-yard line, and that hasn't been a guarantee to score touchdowns when you're at the 35 this season, but they quickly moved right down the field. Reggie, as you heard there, culminated in a touchdown. But I think the one silver lining, I think, is the passing game is starting to make progressive steps forward. You had Eric Olson, another 6 catches for 75 yards. Shamar Garrett got involved as well, 6 for 49. Cade Neggett, 6 for 47. So there was 3 guys right around 50-plus yards. So I feel like the receivers, tight ends, the passing game starting to evolve and take the next step.
Yeah, good stuff. Some silver lining there, but Tech does fall.
Yeah.
They do cover for the record.
Yep.
And now they've got their off week this week, and then we get ready for SUU after that.
That's right. 6 p.m. kickoff from Greater Zion Stadium.
Yep. It's in St. George, so everybody may be coming down from Cedar City for that one. I expect, a good crowd. Will it be standing room only? I don't know. I mean, if these teams were both 5-1, it would be over capacity. You'd be turning people away.
Yeah.
Both these teams have 1 win, and I cannot but forget the great sentiments of Delane Fitzgerald after he got hired. We had him on the show the very first week he got hired at SUU, and I said, what do you think of this SUU and Utah Tech rivalry?
And he's in agreement with me here.
He's like, it's not a rivalry, Devin. It's not a rivalry. We want it to be a rivalry, but it's not a rivalry. Until you got to have 2 winning programs that and you have to have some longevity. And so he kind of downplayed. Now,
There's still added.
For us, I'm glad it's not the same week as BYU and Utah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we've got the big in-state rivalry game this week, the Holy War. The Utah Tech SU game will be next week. So maybe everybody will get excited, and maybe it'll be a terrific, big noon kickoff's going to be there. Fox, it's going to be the whole shebang up there in Provo. Maybe all that fanfare will just kind of roll into next week for everybody in St. George and Cedar City, and we can still have the feelings of a good old-fashioned Cedar versus St. George rivalry football game on the gridiron. We've seen some good crowds in the past. We've seen some terrific games, actually, in the small sample size of games since they've rekindled this feud on 15, as I like to call it.
That's right.
So
we last year's game was a thriller.
Yeah.
I mean, it was an overtime game. I mean, it was a really intense back and forth football game, but SU came out on top. I think that going into the season, you would have thought that SU would have a lot to play for at this point, that this game would be one of the games they would win. But I think this is kind of a coin flip at this point. I mean, I don't think the spreads for FCS don't come out until Saturday of the game week. But I think next week we could see Utah Tech being not a favorite, but maybe a 3-4 point dog, I think, against SUU. I think it's going to be a tight spread against the Thunderbirds.
Yeah, I agree. I think it'll be. I think it'll be single digits. It'll be close. Mm-hmm. Other college football. So no SU game to recap. They had the bye week.
Yeah,
probably good for Bronson Barron since he missed that Tarleton State game. Getting him healthy.
Were you up late?
Yeah.
Were you up late on a Saturday to catch Hawaii and Utah State?
Oh no,
I know I was. Hawaii really beat the brakes off them, 44-26. That was unexpected. That was a 1-2 point line. Hawaii just really kind of showed that Utah State, maybe when I thought they would compete with the UNLVs, the Boise's, the top of the Mountain West this year, I think that it's probably a little lofty expectations in Broncos' first year. So
we said it last week. We said you want to be considered. You want to. This is that game. You have to go win. It's always tough. There's the time change. It's just one of those games where it's very difficult. You're up late in the Mountain Time Zone playing the football game, and you've got to deal with a good football team that's kind of rekindled their pride.
5-2.
Yeah.
Timmy Chang's got Hawaii rolling. They're
This is
2-1
not
in
a
the Mountain West.
pushover win anymore,
especially at home on the island. So yeah, Utah State does fall. Bryson Barnes, 14-26, little box score breakdown here. 14-26, 175 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. You also saw Jacob Conover, former guest of the drive, make his debut for the Aggies this year. 4 of 10, 64 yards, and Anthony Garcia. 3 quarterbacks played, and we heard Broncos say the health of Bryson Barnes was an issue going in, and I think that played out, that was the case, because he did not have his finest game against Hawaii.
No, he's not 100%. There's no question. Mm-hmm. But you got to give him credit for trying.
For gritting it out.
Yeah. You got to go try.
That's right.
So Utah State, that is a costly loss for everybody up there in Logan. That dairy don't taste as good this morning on a Monday morning after that.
And they got the Friday night game this week against San Jose State, does Utah State. So
did San Jose end up beating Wyoming? That was a tight one over the weekend.
That was a tight, 2-point spread. Wyoming won 35-28.
Close one. Close one. BYU beat Arizona, another late night Saturday. I mean, this started at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
But the lightning delay and the rain delay, what time did this game finish, Paulie?
This was a close to midnight game because it was 2 OTs. You were rocking out to Mr. Electric Blue at this time, I think.
Yeah.
So I was watching this game and I was like, wow, BYU wants to give this away. They do not want to win. Bear Bachmeier had his worst game of the year. He had 2 picks, only 179 yards passing, but he left his stamp in the second OT. He ran the 7-yard touchdown into the end zone to break the tie, give them the 6-point lead, but they wouldn't get the 2-point conversion. So if Arizona scored, which they did not, and got the 2-point conversion, they would have had the walk-off win. But BYU's defense stands tall. They hold up in that second OT, and they stop Fafita in the offense, which really got off to a hot start. It was 14-0 Arizona before you could blink an eye. So it was kind of a crazy game.
Yeah, it was, what was it?
Or 14-0 BYU.
Yeah,
and then
14-0 BYU, and then they scored,
right.
I think, 17 unanswered.
That's right.
And had the lead going at the half, 17-14. And then nobody scored in the third quarter after that lengthy lightning delay. Mm-hmm. And then in the fourth quarter and overtime, we got some points again. And Bachmeier only 12 of 29.
Yeah,
172 yards, but he rushes for 89 more and 2 more on the ground. So 3 total touchdowns. I think the freshman has been better than people expected.
Yes, better than Redslab, I think.
And the ceiling is high and the future looks bright, but the future is kind of now with this kid.
Yeah.
And you kind of wonder, is he ready for it? Is he going to shrink in the moment? And he didn't.
He didn't.
And he came through. And Kingston had a nice game as well. And Chase Roberts is not as involved in this offense. But I'll tell you, there's one professional athlete on this roster that I love watching, and he's going to run the ball on Sundays, and that's L.J. Martin.
He's kind of got Algier vibes to him a little bit.
He's a pro running back. I've been saying that since his freshman year when I saw him come in as a freshman. Like, that body is a pro running back body.
But I think
25 carries, $162 and a touchdown.
he's very good. But the cracks are starting to show a little bit in BYU. I think the 69-0 Portland State, 27-3 Stanford, 34-13 East Carolina. Stop me when you hear a good team. BYU beats Colorado 24-21. They beat West Virginia 38-24. They squeak by Arizona. And I think now the books are seeing that. Guess who's favored in Provo?
Utah
by 3.5. So, I don't know. I think a lot of people kind of questioning the Cougars' strength of schedule, who they beat, and
the gauntlet is coming for BYU.
Correct. Iowa State, Texas Tech,
it was very,
TCU, Cincinnati are all on the horizon.
But they've done exactly what the schedule dictated, and that's win every game.
That's right. They've done nothing wrong. I'm just saying that there's cracks. You can see the fractures in BYU a little bit.
And Utah comes after a top 25 win and seems to be kind of got that get-right game under
And this
the
will be
books.
the best. I quote you this. You can quote this right now. This will be the best defense that Bachmeier plays probably all year other than Texas Tech. So, I mean, he's going to see some exotic looks. He's going to see a fast defense from Utah. Is he going to be able to run for 89 yards against this defense? I don't think so. So, and the way they play in the secondary, Smith, Snowden, all those guys in the secondary for Utah, I think they're going to be praying. And Bachmeier throws some balls up for grabs. That's the thing about him. He had 2 picks. It finally showed up in the box score. He's been getting away with a lot of 50-50 balls, I thought, throughout the year. So, Utah, BYU, I can't wait.
It's a big one this weekend.
It is.
It is a big one. We're going to be talking about it, hyping it all week long. Devin Dampier in that 42-10 win over Arizona State. He had 10 carries for 120 yards and 3 touchdowns, and goes 7-12 for another 104 more through the air. So Dampier and Bachmeier both take their talents into this head-to-head rivalry game. Yeah. Both are newcomers to the rival. Both are first-year starters at a new school, new program. One's a freshman, one's an upperclassman. Dampier has the experience factor.
Yeah.
There's no question about that.
I agree with that. He's definitely got the experience up on him.
Yeah, I mean, woo-wee, holy war, here we go. Here we go. This is going to be a fun one. I can't wait. Anything else to touch on college football-wise, Paulie?
Maybe a little top 25 recap, as there were some really big games last week. We've done all the in-state schools, but I think we talk a little bit about Indiana. I mean, I think Indiana's starting to prove to everybody out there that Kurt Cignetti's not just a winner at JMU. He's a winner at the FBS level, at the highest levels in the Big Ten. They defeat Oregon 30-20. I don't know how much of this game you caught, but Dante Moore, I don't think he's the number 1 Heisman favorite anymore. He had a terrible game for the Ducks. Indiana's defense was suffocating him. He could not do anything. So I'm going to get a live look at the odds. But, yeah, Indiana was very impressive. I think they are a team that can make a deep run in the college football playoff. They have everything they need. Defense, a great quarterback, a good running game, some very capable receivers. So I loved what I saw. And that was the first sample. I know they blew out into Illinois. Like, they scored 60 points on Brett Bielema in Illinois. And now they do this to Oregon on the road in a primetime setting. This vaults Indiana into the national championship conversation, whether people like it or not.
No, I agree. And look, college football, these regular season games, they absolutely 100% matter.
Yeah, Dante Moore now 20-1. He was 6-1 a week before. So number 1 now, guess who it is? The Heisman favorite. Who do you think?
Well, it's got to be the quarterback of Indiana after the win on the road.
He is the 3rd highest.
He's got to be right up there.
He's up there. Carson Beck, the guy that was kind of cast off from Georgia after having a bad season last year, he's plus 350. Less than 4-1 to win the Heisman now. The number 2 Canes, they've really gotten going. So
yeah, they're up to 2.
Yeah,
makes sense. Ohio State would be 1. If the playoffs started today, it would be Ohio State, Miami, Indiana, and probably Texas A&M would be your top 4 teams with byes. Mm-hmm. And then you'd have your 8-9, your 5-12, your 7-10, and your 6-11 all bracketed out. And right now, your teams that would probably be 5 through 12, Bama would be 5. 6 would probably be Texas Tech. and this is just, paraphrasing here.
Sure.
7 would probably be Ole Miss. 8, 9 would be Oregon, Georgia.
That'd be a hell of a game.
10, 11, 12 would probably be LSU,
Where's the Vols?
USC
That's what I want to know.
at 11, and Memphis probably at 12. I wouldn't have the
What?
Vols in right now.
Vols are ranked 11,
They're right on the outside
gonna
looking
be
in on
in there.
Devin's list.
especially after they beat Bama this week.
They would be
Calling your shot.
them in Oklahoma, BYU, Georgia Tech. They're all right there, still very much alive in the mix.
That's right.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah. I mean,
You gotta include the Vols for terror.
okay, fine, fine.
They're
Take-
in there.
Take LSU out.
Take Memphis
Yes.
out. I don't want to have Memphis in there.
No.
Oh.
Memphis are they supposed to be the G5 team?
It looks like it right now.
Probably going to be South Florida, I think, who just blew out the Mean Green and scored 60.
Yeah,
I think they're 5-1 now. They're the best group of 5 team in the country that no one knows about. But
I haven't seen them play.
okay,
I have not seen them play.
you haven't seen them play. All right,
No.
they're good, really good.
Have you seen Memphis play?
No,
No. Yeah, that's the thing. Until we get to the closer to the college football playoffs and the reveal shows start coming out every week, you don't really see a lot of the highlights of these other teams unless that's your team,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
They're not the game. You're not a destination watch in St. George, Utah for Memphis college football.
that's right.
Sorry,
Memphis Tulane on a Thursday
Yeah, I
night.
mean-
I can't interest you.
no.
Okay.
No. All right, got to get to a break. Lots more coming up when we come back. Let's go dashing through the games. We'll update our survivor picks. Also, some studs and duds in fantasy when we come back. And then 8:30ish, we're gonna have Patrick Manning Black Desert stop by the show. We are days and just a couple weeks away from the Bank of Utah Championship out there at Black Desert Resort. So lots of fun. We'll catch up with him. And I believe we're going to have an announcement on the sponsor exemptions. Who is going to get the sponsor exemptions to play in the tournament? So that'll be fascinating to see for people that love golf like I do. So that'll be interesting to hear from Patrick when he joins us on the program. Coming up in just a few, back in a flash. Hey, everybody, welcome back. It's The Drive, presented by our friends at Game Day Men's Health. Game Day Men's Health makes it easy with your free testosterone tests. Call or text and get back in the game. Get feeling, looking your best. Help from the specialists. This is all they do. They specialize in helping guys look and feel their best. Reclaim your game with Game Day Men's Health free T-test. You need to know what your T levels. Been telling you how important that is, especially when you get 40, 45, 50 or older. So make sure and give them a call. Shoot them a text. You get your results back in less than 15 minutes at Game Day Men's Health. 435-265-4223. I bet some of our longtime listeners probably have that memorized by now. 435-265-4223. Paulie should have that memorized.
Yeah.
At this point in time. All right, let's talk little NFL football. What a day it was. My coffee always tastes better when my team wins. Coffee tastes real good this morning after
There you go.
Seattle
Fresh hot
Mariner
cup.
and Seahawks win for me. That was quite the day. I drove all the way home middle of the night last Saturday
I questioned
night.
this. You went to the show and then went home right after.
Yeah, it got done we left the venue. By the time we got to the car, got food at Cane's on the way out of town. We were hitting the road about midnight. Got home about 4 a.m.
Okay.
Yeah, so drove all the way home.
Through the night.
Yep.
I like that.
Can you not drive through the night?
Well, we do it
we
all
do
the
it all the
time.
time.
Yeah.
I mean, you sound surprised that I drove home.
I just wondering after a big
Like,
show, you know.
yeah, I mean, look, I'm old. I'd rather not. I like my sleep, but I can still do it.
Yeah, you can. I'm not doubting your ability.
Well,
You're
you
a
act
high energy
surprised.
guy.
You act surprised. I did have to stop in Beaver and get a Monster.
Okay, yeah, you do use those to help you through the drive, but that's very commendable of you to just hop in the car, get the whole family saddled up. They're probably all sleeping, and you're just
They were
doing the hard work driving down the road.
Yeah, I put my music on for a change. That was nice.
There you go.
After
not as
listening,
much Sabrina Carpenter and
well, it was Benson Boone's set list the whole way up.
okay.
Yeah.
In order,
that's fine.
He had to
Yeah.
learn. He had to learn Benny Boo Boo's songs, to sing along.
That's right. Were you singing along, buddy?
No, but
Did you have your phone out, swinging it side to side?
No, I did. Tara wanted more pictures, but
I'm like, where's the video?
Yeah.
I'm a dude down on the stage. I'm not videoing Benson Boone like every song.
I
Sorry.
wanted videos of your kids, like enjoying the
Oh,
concert, and
yeah.
your wife, like everybody rocking out.
Yeah, I got a couple of those.
Okay.
I tried to.
I don't want videos of Benson
I got
Boone.
it.
I just want videos of you guys enjoying it.
Yes.
Gotcha.
She wanted to see that you guys having fun out there.
Exactly.
When my
yeah.
wife said for fall break, all she wanted me to do was take her to a Benson Boone concert, I didn't realize how expensive it was going to be.
Well, you checked the box, though.
I felt like those tickets were. I think I paid less for Morgan Wallen tickets. I think I paid less for my wife to go to Taylor Swift.
Benny, he's charging a
Really?
heavy price, huh?
Well, after talking with Tara, we wanted to get down on the floor and have and be front row.
Yeah.
That's what so the girls could
He
enjoy.
did. I
Because
saw
he
Tara's
jumped down
video.
He really
Yeah.
worked the stage
He
well.
had an elaborate
did.
stage setup, too. It looked
And
pretty
he would
cool.
jump down into the audience several times and stuff too. So I'm like, you got to be there. Like Lucy needs a hug. Like,
That's right.
get on
Yeah.
the floor.
Yeah.
And he did indeed.
Oh, you guys are killing me. All right, let's give me some NFL theme music or
Yes.
something. Let's go dashing through the games. Go back to last Thursday night. Giants beat the Eagles. I am really enjoying, I don't want to talk about this too long because it's old news, but we haven't been on the air since that game. Giants 34, Eagles 17. That was a very enjoyable game to watch for me. I love Jackson Dart and Cameron Scatabo. These two guys, these two rookies are putting this team on their back. And that was fun to see the Giants beat the Eagles. That game in London,
Yeah. Oh, man. I was up early for that one.
snoozer. Broncos had one touchdown in the game. They win 13-11. Why did they just try a 62-yarder with Nick Folk? Instead, they get sacked again for the 9th time, and Denver wins. There's not a lot of fantasy value in this game. No studs and duds out of that one. Colts beat the Cardinals 31-27. You thought the Cardinals might miss Kyler Murray more, but Jacoby Brissett actually played really well in this game. 320 yards and 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and the Cardinals dang near beat the Colts without Kyler Murray.
Yeah, that's very impressive that they were able to do that with Brissett, which it was a revenge game for Jacoby, former Colts quarterback. So he was playing well.
You know what killed me is Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, he
in the building his dad helped build.
Yeah.
Concussion, had to leave the game, and ended up with like 5 fantasy points. Put up pretty much a dud for me with the injury.
Yeah, he really hasn't been good.
I have him in 2 leagues, and both. I think I'm going to salvage 1 win, but I don't think that I am in the other league just because of that key injury there. But good win for the Colts. Colts are for real. Daniel Dimes.
Yeah, Indiana Jones. They're calling him now.
Yeah.
They love him out there. Yeah, he's got his whip and his
Dr.
cap.
Jones.
Yeah, that's right. They're finding the Holy Grail somehow.
30, 212, 2 touchdowns. But here's the thing, Jonathan. Taylor has 123 and a touchdown.
Yeah.
Tyler Warren has 6 for 63 and a touchdown. Danny Dimes throws it, runs it like he's getting the playmakers the ball at the right times, and they're doing enough to win the game.
Yeah.
Steelers 23-9. Aside from the AFC North, the only other division that looks is the NFC South, like a runaway right now. If you had to pick 2 clear-cut division winners in the NFL through 6 weeks, you would say Steelers and Bucks. I mean, right now, I don't see a way that those 2 teams lose the division.
Okay.
Every other division is still very much up in the air.
Yeah, absolutely.
But after the Steelers beat the Browns, Baltimore's going nowhere with Lamar hurt. Like the Steelers all of a sudden look like the class of that division, which I thought that division was going to be one of the toughest in football, and it's actually one of the weakest in football right now.
Well, injuries happened to 2 key
100%,
players.
100%.
So it's Pittsburgh's division to win now, but it wasn't that way. The preseason odds were totally different. I mean, the injuries have totally cataclysmically shifted this division standing. So I don't know. I mean, I think Pittsburgh's legit. We'll get into our survivor picks later at the end of this segment, but they played a really good game. I mean, in the Browns, Dylan Gabriel threw 52 passes, had like 217 yards.
221.
221, yeah. So
29 of 52, 221, no touchdowns, no interceptions.
That's brutal.
But they couldn't run the ball against Pittsburgh.
I know,
They
but-
had no run game. Judkins had 12 carries for 36 yards.
Correct. But still, I mean, Gabriel, I know Shadur, all those people wanting to see him get some run.
Dude, if you liked offense, this was not game. The only fantasy value in that game was DK Metcalf, 4 catches, 95 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah.
The rest was garbage.
That's right. I got studs and duds later, but let's keep going, buddy.
Panthers beat the Cowboys 30-27. Rico Dowdle announced that he was out for revenge against the team that cut him after he'd been in Dallas for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, let me inject his stats. 34.9 points fantasy-wise, 30 carries, 183 yards, 4 catches, 56 yards, and a touchdown receiving.
Stud!
He won them that game. He won them that game. In a revenge game again. Revenge game against the Cowboys.
Man, stud! I like saying that.
There you go.
Rams beat the Ravens 17-3. This game was boring. Shaky game to start, missing field goals. Stafford didn't do a lot. At one point, Puka got hurt left, came back into the game, though.
Another stud performance from him, I think.
Puka?
Yeah, wasn't it?
2 for 28.
Oh, no, never mind.
Do you like that?
No,
That's
no,
probably,
no.
He got hurt. You did not hear what I just said? He got hurt, left the game.
Yeah.
Did come back into the game.
I thought when he came back, he lit it up, but maybe not.
No.
I didn't watch this game.
Higbee had a touchdown, 4 catches. Devontae had 4 for 39. This was not an offensive. It was 17-3, Paulie. This was not a shootout. Mm-hmm. Tyler Huntley came in for Cooper Rush. Actually looked a little bit better than Rush, and maybe Snoop will be the QB1 if Lamar's not back next week.
Because Cooper Rush is a fine backup, but he is not for the Ravens system. I mean, Snoop is exactly Lamar's a super poor man's Lamar. He could be, and he can run that offense, I think, way better than Cooper Rush.
They threw the graphic up with Lamar, without Lamar, when it is not.
It's abysmal.
It's crazy how much one guy means to an organization, but it's truly the case in Baltimore. With Lamar, they're formidable. Without him, they're nothing.
Yeah,
Patriots.
I think he'll be back next week, though.
Lamar,
I think so.
You do. Yeah, the hamstrings can linger. You never know. Patriots, the Fighting Drake Mays.
Yeah.
Yes.
25, Saints 19.
This is my boy.
You know, If you told anyone before the season there would be fireworks in Week 6, Patriots-Saints battle, you would have probably been put in a mental facility. But we saw big passing plays on the opening drive. This game got started out with a bang. Drake May throws 3 touchdowns in this game.
Jeez.
Yeah.
He is really
261 passing yards, 28 rushing yards. He's awesome.
Dude, the Booty touchdown in the first one he threw to Boutte was unbelievable pinpoint. I mean, I was so impressed with that throw. That was not a window, and he made a tight window throw. And then the second one to Boutte was even better. Yeah. Like, he had 2 touchdowns. This guy's becoming a pretty formidable wide receiver and not even drafted in a lot of formats.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, they've got some good pieces in New England offensively. Stephon Diggs had that 10-catch, 146-yard game against Buffalo. Now you get Boutte chipping in a 2-touchdown game. But there's one constant, and someone in this studio, I got to look far and wide, had it before the season started. There she is. She's pointing to herself because you called this. In the summer, you were very high on Drake May, and so much so that you drafted him. So,
I did, yeah.
And it's working out. So good for you, Tara.
It's my number 1 QB.
All right, let's keep rolling, buddy.
Yeah, Seahawks 20, Jacksonville 12.
What are your thoughts? You're the Seahawks authority here.
I mean, the Jags just won on Monday night against the Chiefs. Seattle goes on the road, and that defense who gave up 38 points and lost because of the defense to Baker Mayfield and Tampa at home made up for it with all the sacks, and they really rattled Trevor Lawrence, and this was a defensive win for Seattle. It's kind of weird how bad the defense, and they didn't have Tariq Woolen, they didn't have Julian Love or Devin Witherspoon. They were out 3 stars in the secondary, and they still only gave up 12 points to the Jaguars. Those are really, and Sammy D, 295 and 2 more touchdowns. Yeah. I mean,
he's
leads the league in yards per completion. Jackson Smith-Njigba, if you don't believe me that he's a star, I was trying to sell these guys as a top 5 receiver before the season, top 10 at least. They wouldn't even give me that. 8 catches for 162 yards and another touchdown for JSN.
You love that stat line, baby. Gives credence to your argument. He is moving up the board, I think, as a top receiver.
I mean, you look at his quarterback situation, he's going to have a bigger year than Jettas or Jamar because of the situation he's in, right? Yeah. Sam Darnold has been awesome in Seattle.
But I always say, if you can't compare quarterback situations when you're saying who's the best.
No, he's not.
If they all had the same quarterback, let's just play that game.
Jettas and Chase are still better.
They're going to put up better stats.
But he's a different type of receiver, and he's becoming a superstar.
That's right. He is. He's on his way to being top 5.
And I already knew it. Why do you think I was so mad at you when you drafted him right in front of me, dude? My guy, man. JSN's my guy.
That was 2 years ago. He's still mad about
it. We saw in Red Zone that touchdown, the 61-yarder, and Dale, who was at that fantasy draft, said, "You remember when you got? You remember when he gave you the business for drafting Jig?" I'm like, "Yep, I remember."
It's very fresh.
Chargers beat the Dolphins 29-27. The Dolphins are a mess. I don't know. I don't know how long they can go without
Mikey
firing.
Mick. He's got to go, I think.
Well, Tua came out in the podium after game and said the guys are
not showing up to meetings,
player-only meetings, and they're late and not showing up. They got a culture problem.
Locker room lost in Miami, in my mind.
Yep. Bucks beat the Niners 30-19. Baker just keeps winning. He is the MVP leading candidate right now, 100%. Another unbelievably bad bit of luck as Fred Warner, former BYU Cougar,
another season-ending injury.
The season is over. Joining Bosa on that defensive side of the ball. Kittle still isn't back. I mean, they
collateral damage with the injuries for San Francisco.
Another 347 through the air for Mac Jones, but it's just dink and dunk, and he didn't have a touchdown in the game. But he's throwing to Bourne and McCaffrey out of the backfield.
Yeah,
and Marquez Scantling's getting catches. He's been cut a couple times and just bouncing around the league. Like, they don't have receivers in San Francisco right now that you can trust.
That's right.
Raiders 20, Titans 10. Raiders have one of the worst offensive lines in the NFL.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I knew that from day one. That's why I didn't draft Genty on any of my fantasy football teams.
I still believe.
You did.
And he rewarded me, too.
He runs hard.
Yeah, I like him.
I do too.
Took him 23 carries to get 75 yards, but he got it. Touchdown.
That stat, the yards per carry, all that stuff.
Tough yards.
It is.
He gets hit
After-
he gets hit behind the line of
Yeah.
scrimmage
Yeah,
on like
after contact.
80% of plays.
No,
Like,
most guys would have 25 carries and 25 yards. Genty's
Yeah.
still got 3 yards a carry.
yeah,
He's young,
He's
fresh
awesome.
legs. He's a warrior, man.
he is.
They've got to give him some guys to block, though.
They do.
In the coming
Powers
free
Johnson from
agency.
Oregon. I know he was a first-round pick. He really hasn't been great for him. I don't know. They need major offensive line reconstruction.
Packers beat the Bengals 27-18. That is good news. Tara and I both had the Packers in our
Yes.
survivor pool.
We
so
survived.
We survived. this week.
Survived.
Yes.
So did I. I had the Steelers. So we're all level par there.
Yep. Of course, Sunday Night Football, Chiefs beat the Lions 30-17, and I would have thought Detroit would have played better. They really did not play well. Kansas City, coming off a loss, it just tells you the NFL is so unpredictable. Kansas City can't beat Jacksonville on Monday night, but they can beat Detroit at home. The coming weeks for Detroit is a gauntlet stretch too.
Yeah.
They have some really tough games coming up. So that leaves 2 games tonight. We will be at Wingnuts, Bills, Falcons, and Bears and Commanders. Those will be double header on Monday night. We're giving away a jersey at halftime of both games tonight. Plus, you've got Mariners starting at 2:00 against Toronto. So
Yeah.
Hey, you might be there early. Just,
Might
just
show
get to the
up at
bar
2.
and
yeah,
just
come
saddle
hang at
up.
Wingnuts. Hey,
Strap in.
managing partner, Black Desert Resort, Patrick Manning, going to join us on the show next. Stick around. Desert, and they are gearing up. The grandstands have already been constructed, final preparations in place. We are counting down the days to the tournament here for the second fall in a row. Patrick, good morning. Good to see you.
Double D, good to be here.
Oh, man. How was the trophy tour last week? I saw you out making the rounds.
Yeah, it was great. I didn't make all the stops like I did in year one because there's a whole lot going on right now, but made it over to the governor's office at the Capitol, and that was a lot of fun. And they went out to the Delta Center and Tosi Tanner, of course, who designed the trophy. And they made probably 15 stops.
Yeah. Yeah, making the rounds, and we're getting ready for the Bank of Utah Championship at Black Desert. So nice to have a title sponsor this year after you guys co-titled it last year yourselves.
Yeah, we titled it last year because we wanted it to be the Black Desert Championship so that everybody watching this tournament pop on national television would know where it's being played and come visit. But we're also really thankful to Bank of Utah because not only do we have a title sponsor, which helps a lot, but we've got the name of Utah in the championship, so that's great.
Yeah, Bank of Utah Championship at Black Desert, 23rd through the 26th is the Thursday through the Sunday. They'll crown a champ on that Sunday. Patrick, let's talk about the field a little bit. Can you tell us some names? Give us some names of some commitments that you know will be playing in the field this year.
Yeah, I'll get to some names in a second, but I just want to remind everybody that we have a really good Utah contingent again showing up. We've got Zach Blair and Patrick Fishburne and Tommy Sharp.
Nice.
And with our, you didn't ask me about exemptions yet, but we've got Kihei Akina back in the field again this year.
And he darn near made the cut last year.
Yeah, one stroke. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And we've got David Lichty, who's a freshman at Utah Tech. So it'll be great to have not just a Utah, but a hometown boy right here.
Yeah.
And Preston Summerhays and Connor Howe. And but we've got I think it's like a dozen players that have won a championship this year in 2025 in the field. We have Jason Day, that won the Players Championship in the past, and Molinari that won the Open. So we've got some names. We've got some. I think it's 8 or 9 guys that have won at least 4 PGA championships. So it'll be a good field. Good time.
I see one of my favorite players is in the field, which I'm excited. I've always loved Brant Snedeker. And he's won 9 times on tour. Sneaky Sneddy, as I always say.
Yeah.
His comeback and overcoming that injury, like a rare surgery that nobody had ever done. He had to convince the surgeon in I think it was Nashville to do the surgery. It's a crazy backstory on Snedeker if you ever want to go down that rabbit hole. But it's good that he played all last year, played well, and so he's getting back out there and getting back in the swing of things, and he's always been an unbelievable putter. Yeah. I've always loved his stroke. I'm jealous. But if you get a good chance to watch, you got to see Snedeker. Go watch him on the putting green. He's just that little pop putt. It's so pure. I'm excited about these exemptions, though. And we mentioned Kihei, freshman on the golf team at BYU. He's unbelievably talented. I mean, he's played in a couple Korn Ferry Tour events, made the cut before, missed the cut here by 1 stroke. I would be surprised if he doesn't make the cut this weekend. This kid is so good, Pat.
Well, I mean, he definitely deserves to be in this field. I mean, and he certainly can make the cut, but we all know golf is a little unpredictable.
Sure. Lickety, good get for Brad Sutterfield, the head coach at Utah Tech. This freshman, we saw him in the USAM match play, getting all the way around to 32, winning, and then finally getting knocked out. But he made a great run this summer, and kind of already his name was on the map. But that run was huge because what's impressive about Lickety is he did the mission thing and didn't seem to miss a beat when he got back. When you go off and you're, on a mission for 2 years, you're not chipping and putting 8 hours a day. And for him to come back and so quickly pick right up and maybe even be playing better than before he left is impressive to me.
Yeah, he's a great kid too. It's nice to have him here in St. George.
You mentioned Connor Howe. He's a native of Ogden, Weber High School graduate. He's made some starts and stuff on the Korn Ferry Tour, up and coming player. And then Preston Summerhays, probably the most maybe the most notable of all of them because he played at Arizona State University. It's Danny Summerhays' nephew. It's Boyd Summerhays' son. His sister Gracie's an unbelievable player. It's the Summerhays name in Utah has got some pretty deep roots.
For sure.
So I think you guys nailed it on the sponsor exemptions.
Yeah.
Can you tell people how difficult it is because you probably get requests from everybody.
Yeah, I think this year we got about 60 requests for exemptions, and we have a committee, and thankfully we're all aligned that we want to make sure we have a strong Utah tie, and we hold back a couple of exemptions for the last second. We could have a couple more surprises come up.
Really?
Yeah, and then we hold back a couple of them also for those that are right on that cut line, like Zach Blair this year.
Yeah,
and so we needed to hold back an exemption in case he got bumped.
Yep.
To keep him in. So it's hard. It's not hard to make a decision on who to bring in. It's hard to let people know they can't get in. That's the hard part.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what, 54, 55 emails, 56 emails or texts or phone calls, or I don't know how you let them know nowadays, but that's not a fun conversation to have.
Right, yeah.
All right, what else about the tournament? What else is exciting? Any other changes in year two that you want to let the general public know? Anything that's more fan friendly? Or anything that's new accommodations wise?
Well, the resort is much larger with many more amenities than it was 12 months ago.
Correct. Yeah.
I think we have 300 more rooms open, and the world class spa is open now, and the pools are open. Just there's a lot more outside the ropes that have been done. As far as the course experience, as you saw last year, we had that really tough bottleneck between 1 and 10 that was hard to get through there. We made some changes there, and I don't think we'll see any bottleneck there, so it's more free flowing through there. Also, those 3-story grandstands on 16, 17, 18 were amazing to see on television, but it kind of put the fans a little too far away from the action sometimes, and so we broadened them and brought them down to 1 story so that everybody's up closer to the golfers and can see better.
Yeah.
And so just a couple small changes. Otherwise, I think year one went really smooth.
Is there still going to be no fans on holes 4 through 9 or 4 through 7, basically?
Yeah, basically, yeah. So, 4 tee through 7 green. Yep.
Okay.
And that's the PGA Tour saying, hey, it's just too risky with all the lava.
Yeah, that's right.
For people to walk. And
it's also in reality, I mean, there will be a few hardcore fans that would want to walk the whole thing. But this golf course is pretty spread out. That's really far south.
Yeah. No, I got you. Yeah, I mean, if you're walking with one guy and you want to watch all 18 holes, that makes it difficult. But other than that, you hey, take a break for a minute, grab some lunch.
Right,
That's
yeah.
right.
No.
Yeah.
And then pick it right back up there at 7 green.
And we also, as you saw last year, we have that fan zone up on the mesa between 16, or it's actually 10, 16, 17, 18. And you can watch 10 and all the 3 finishing holes and have all the restrooms and food and beverage and merchandise and all the games and stuff out there.
Yeah.
That's kind of where you want to be.
Yeah, that's a great spot.
Yeah. It's going to be fun. Patrick Manning in studio with us, getting ready for the Bank of Utah Championship, October 23rd through the 26th. They're coming back here to little old St. George, Utah. It's going to be fun. Preston Summerhays, Connor Howe, David Lickety, and Kihei Akina get the Utah sponsor exemptions. And you said there's 1 or 2 more that you guys still have in your pocket if needs be.
That's right, correct. And also I want to encourage, if you've never played golf, if you've never even watched golf on television, I encourage you to come out because it is a lot of fun. I'm not going to name drop for their privacy reasons, but it's a good for celebrity watching this year coming up.
Yeah.
There's some good celebrities going to be in town.
Yeah.
I love it. Jason Day is in the field, Brant Snedeker, Alex Noren, Maverick McNeely, who I thought got snubbed on the Ryder Cup team. He's going to be playing in the field. Rasmus Højgaard, who played on the Ryder Cup team for Europe, had a great year. Him and his twin brother Nikolai have been unbelievable storyline in golf. He's going to be playing. Plus, Patrick said Zach Blair, Patrick Fishburne, some of the big names. Tommy Sharp playing some of the Utah ties as well. So, good stuff. Patrick, always good to see you, man. People, blackdesertevents.com for the tickets. Is that where we're sending people?
Bank of Utah. Sorry, yeah.
Well, they changed it now. Yeah.
Yeah, but blackdesertevents.com works.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where we were sending people last year. I forgot we've got the new sponsors, so they probably rebranded the website. But get your tickets, all digital tickets.
That's right.
All digital tickets. You want to be in that Greater Zion club, because that's got the catered food and the drinks and everything. If you're going to splurge, you're going to be out there, get that Greater Zion ticket. I think that's the one. There's the 18 grandstand, which is great too, right?
That's right.
You can get grounds tickets. You can get single day tickets. It's all available. Go check it out. Patrick, always good to see you, man. And I know we're going to be talking with some of the, I know we got Preston Summerhays going to be joining us on the show tomorrow. I know we got a bunch more interviews coming with players leading up to the event. And we're getting close, down to the nitty gritty, buddy.
Yep. Good to see you, Devin.
Yep. All right, we'll take the break. We'll back in a flash. Go check out the Bank of Utah Championships, October 23rd through the 26th at Black Desert Resort.